So, what do you think needs to change for the world to experience more of that, like, say, respectful interaction?
I think platforms like Instagram, for example, with the whole likes and everything that's going on lately, I've heard that they're going to stop that, and I was actually really happy.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's happening, but they said that they're going to stop likes, and that made me happy because it means that a girl my age isn't going to feel like she needs to show her body or she needs to show things of herself that are supposed to be for her and her loved ones and private things just to get likes. Instead, I think guys and girls are going to start thinking, what do I have to offer? What do I have to say instead of just what I look like? Because if people can't see your likes, you're not going to be that invested on how many likes I'm getting, because it doesn't feed people's egos.
So you don't, it's not like a narcissistic gratification, immediate gratification.
Yeah.
It is more of a like contribution.
Yeah.
Right?
So I think
That's
people
nice.
are going to start thinking of, well, what do I have to offer? You know, what do I have to say as a person? Because looks are great, but they're going to fade eventually.
Yep.
And not only that, we also have the very big influence of surgeries from the age of 16, which isn't healthy. There needs to be a balance in everything that people do. So I find that unfortunately, a lot of girls are getting influenced by that. The whole Kardashian syndrome as well. You know, it is a thing and it is out there. And
Kardashian syndrome.
yeah, because everybody thinks now, because it's in fashion, you need to be big and you need to be plumpy and you need to, one they have short hair, one they have long hair, one they have this, one they have that, and it doesn't actually, I think, allow women to understand that skinny was in fashion 10 years ago, for example, in the fashion industry. But because curvy is in fashion right now, that doesn't mean that skinny is unacceptable, and vice versa. Back then, when skinny was in fashion, it didn't mean that curvy was unacceptable. So I think that kind of era needs to end, and I'm seeing that different eras are starting, like girls that actually have skin conditions coming out and alterations in their features, and those people are getting praised now because they're different and because they make us feel normal, you know.
It reminds me of this ad when I was busy finishing my degree in London, marketing advertising one. There was one of those ads, the Dove one. If you remember, there was like it was all about the thin girls. It was like long legs, whatever. And then Dove came out with this ad of like curvy
Mixed
ladies.
bodies.
Yeah, and different skin colors and different pigmentations, and it was, I don't remember the message, but I think the message was like, you're beautiful as you are. And that's such a challenge, because if you think about it now, with the social media, with the filters that we have on, anybody can look perfect on the picture, and it's that fake idea, right?
Yeah, and this, you know, social media is actually helping this instead of stopping this. Like, people are stopping this, but not social media. Platforms like Instagram are not actually helping people be more of themselves. They're actually more, they're challenging people to alter who they are. The people that are actually running Instagram, humans like, what's her surname? Ashley Graham, I think. She is an idol. She's a plus size model, but so beautiful in her own ways. She's changing Instagram, not the actual application. And same with Facebook, same with the internet in general. And as much as Instagram is such a beautiful platform because it lets you express yourself, it also lets you express things that aren't yourself at points where you might be at your lowest. Or
so where's the line?
Yeah, there is no line. You set your line. That's why it's so difficult. That's why you need to be mentally healthy. The amount of relationships or friendships that have gotten ruined from social media, the amount of friendships that became collaborations and then from work collaborations ended up to being nothing just because of social media, because of
it's
Instagram.
an addiction.
I think for everybody. I think I've seen you do that and you do this, and you know, you see things that you don't want to see. You see things that you would not choose to see in your daily life. For example, I'm on Instagram and I'm seeing stories. Then I see a sponsored ad about an application that fixes your face, even if it's a video. And it shows me a girl that I still think is beautiful. But it shows me whitening her teeth, removing her spots, clearing her skin, changing her hair color, making her eyes bigger or smaller. And I'm thinking, why couldn't we just promote being loved before that whole scenario? it's difficult for even younger people to understand. It took me a few years to actually figure out what self-love is, and honestly, I'm such a big family person. I'm a person that wanted a family since the age of 20. I'm now 25 and I still want kids, but it's very important to be with the right person before you have kids. But it worries me to bring a child in a world where I hear about all these filters and surgeries and drugs going around at this young age, which makes me kind of lose faith in society.
But then, we actually had this discussion yesterday about social media being a magnifying glass for who you are.
Yeah.
So if it's used in the right way, then you can actually, like what you're doing. Here you are sitting here sharing with others the essence of it all. You're sharing your beautiful inner world, and in that way you're actually inspiring others to do the same, and that wouldn't have been able to be possible without the social media. So I believe that the standards themselves will create a certain separation with a more, say, narcissistic immediate gratification users and the ones who actually influence the world.
You need to be aware of what you bring out to the world, because what you bring out to the world is all up to you. Like, I use my platforms to portray my work, like my clothing or my interior or the way I style things, because I'm trying to help others out there. I'm trying to bring out something good. I would never be the kind of person to use a social media platform for personal matters, or to put others down, to say anything mean. So a lot of times that I've been called things like a pig before on social media.
I laughed at that.
Yeah, no, I actually, it was the first time that somebody treated me so harshly on social media, and they told me I look like a pig, and that people are laughing at me, and I should be getting tomatoes thrown at me. And as soon as that hit me, it hit me badly. I got sad and I got emotional, and I started questioning why. What have I ever done to this person? It was a fake account, but behind social media.
So it's trolling, basically.
Yeah, hiding behind another account. What did I ever do to this person? But then I started realizing that that's not me. That's them. That's what they have to say for themselves.
Exactly. That expresses them rather than you. But this is something that you kind of have to be prepared for when you get out there. That there will be a certain percentage of people that will get challenged with their insecurities, whatever, that they know that they're not capable of. They would have to feel in.
And a lot of people feel like they need to put others down to be happy with themselves, which is wrong. You need to see the other person and try to see goods instead of bads. You need to see another man and say, he's a good person. See another woman and say, she's a good person. You can't be looking at people and finding faults, because then that just creates an extra fault for yourself. If you had 2 faults and then you're over here judging other people, saying they're horrible, they just became 3. So you need to be a bit more aware of yourself.
I agree with you. But also for me, when I see a person developing in the way that satisfies, say, them and it inspires me, I believe that the more healthy way is actually to learn from them.
Yeah.
It's impossible to know everything and to be good at everything, but everybody has something to teach you, and that's the humbleness you were talking about.
Yeah. Everybody's got a weakness. I know, I sure do.
We all do.
I'm not perfect. I might wake up a day and have a spot and and not feel that pretty. I've been through acne before, but people, because they haven't seen that, because social media wasn't as wow, back then, they think that I've always had good skin. Good skin came from a factor also of self-awareness and self-care. What was I doing? I was eating wrong. What activities was I doing? What was I giving to myself physically and mentally? And I started to learn myself to figure out how I can be healthy physically as well. So I think the worst thing is when people think you're perfect. I have made mistakes. I have said things that I should not have said. I have done things I should not have done. But the most important thing is when you make one mistake, you keep it at one, and you learn from it. It's not about being perfect. It's about progressing. Because the more you progress, you find one fault, you make it once, you move on. And if you see that you keep making the same mistake again, it means that it's a choice.
It's a cycle then that needs to be broken.